Hello again there folks, Lone Adventurer here. Thank you very much for stumbling your way upon my channel and joining me for this adventure. And today we're going to be playing a one-page game. This is Glide the Courier from Sleepy Sasquatch Games. The designer is Cody Barr, also the designer of the main game Glide, which I have played on the channel. There'll be a link up in the corner of the screen right about now. But you don't need Glide, nor do you need to be familiar with Glide in order to play Glide the Courier. Before we get to it, can I ask you to consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the bell notification icon if you want to find out about more adventures just like this one. So Cody is generally a designer of larger games like Glide, or medium-sized games, I guess you could say, but games with large aspirations, and Troves, which I have not played on the channel, but I would like to very much, and Courier, which I have played on the channel and enjoyed very much. There'll be a link down in the description below to the first part of my Courier playthrough and the first part of my Glide playthrough. I keep meaning to get Glide back to the channel, because there are some expansions which I do have copies of sitting around, and I haven't gotten to them myself yet, but I would love to bring that back. Now Cody has been turning his attention to the world of Glide once again lately. Glide is a sort of a science fiction desert planet setting with a fair amount of lore around it now. You might enjoy a little bit more when playing the Courier if you are familiar with the main game, but like I said, you do not need to be. I noticed that Cody had released a couple of games lately set in the world of Glide. I can't recall the names of them right now, but they're available on his itch.io page, on the Sleepy Sasquatch Games itch.io page. The other two that he released looked more like journaling games. So very mechanically light, and with the intent that the player takes responsibility for the emergent narrative and probably does some writing as they are going, journaling. And those sorts of games are not quite in my wheelhouse. I'm less interested in journaling games, although I will say I did download one of those games, and it came with some very rich and interesting looking tables. So if you're a fan of Glide, or you play the Courier and you like journaling games, I think those would be worth checking out as well. But today we're going to be playing Glide the Courier. So this is a one-page game that Cody has created for the itch.io one-page RPG jam that has been running recently. And it is a game that you need a deck of cards for. Actually, I'll keep those off camera for the time being. And it's a game that you don't need to write anything down for. You just need 3 dice to track your stamina, your momentum, and your cargo. And yeah, you need to track how many routes you have completed. That'll become clear in a moment. So I've been sort of keeping a tally at the bottom of my sheet here, but that's all you need to do. So we've got a little intro here. The ride is to risk, to deliver is to serve, to glide is to live. The oath of the Courier. You are a licensed glider courier from the Guild of the Glider. You soar above the dunes of Eridor, delivering goods to people all over. Currently you are tasked with delivering a series of dangerous delivery routes during a series of strange weather anomalies. You will need to complete as many successful deliveries as possible before crashing, running out of resources, or the storm prevents you from doing so. So that's it really. You are travelling around Eridor, trying to deliver cargo and racking up routes to see how well you have done at doing that. And the mechanics are very simple. For each route you'll be drawing 5 cards, one at a time. If you draw clubs, you are presented with a hazard, and you have to do a roll to see whether you can overcome that hazard. Let's see how we do here. Hearts gives you an updraft, so this is something that propels you forward and can benefit you in a couple of ways. Oh, we're doing well. Are we going to have a diamond next? A spade is a downdraft, so that's something that is going to impact your journey negatively. It is a diamond. That's exciting, isn't it? A diamond is a wind shift, and that gives you a couple of options to allow you to improve your chances. So it's the wind shifts, I think, that give you the main way that you are impacting the outcome of the game. Because you have to choose between doing a quick repair, which allows you to gain a stamina but lose 2 momentum, to jettison cargo to keep your balance, so you gain momentum but lose cargo, and using a shortcut, which means you get to skip one of the cards if you think you're ready to deliver your cargo. And as just mentioned, those are the 3 things we're tracking. We've got our stamina, so that represents your overall well-being and has a maximum of 3. Your momentum, which represents your ability to avoid danger, sort of your ability to progress more effectively, and your cargo, which is the stuff that you're carrying. And we start with 3 stamina, 1 momentum and 1 cargo. So each round we're going to be drawing 5 cards. So what I'm going to do is take 5 cards for this round, pop them there, and then we are ready to go. The only other thing really is that aces and jokers will result in some kind of anomaly. So we'll roll d6 and something will happen. I haven't looked at those too closely. I've only encountered a couple in the game that I've already played. So we'll encounter those as we are going. And that is it, really. We're ready to start. So we are going to make a start on our first route as a glider courier and see how many we can do. Diamonds gives us a wind shift. So we can make a choice. We can gain 1 stamina but lose 2 momentum. I've only got 1 momentum, and I'm also not sure whether that's a minimum. Stamina can reach 0. Momentum, I'm not sure if it bottoms out at 1. Either way, I don't think we can do that unless we have 2 momentum to lose. We can jettison cargo, gain 2 momentum but lose 1 cargo, or we can use a shortcut to skip a card. I think gaining cargo, I don't know if I'm right about this, but I think using an updraft is the only way to gain cargo. So I don't think we should lose our cargo. We're just going to skip a card. So I'm going to not look at that card, and we're just going to have a new one. So next up we've got a club, which is a hazard. So we need 1d6, and we're going to roll a hazard test. If the die result is less than or equal to our momentum, we dodge or maneuver. If the die is greater than our momentum, we're going to lose a stamina. So hopefully we're going to roll a 1. And actually, now that I think about it, if the die result is less than or equal to your momentum, you dodge or outmaneuver the hazard. I think there should always be a chance that you can dodge a hazard. Maybe that's just me. So I'm going to say on a roll of 1, we would have dodged the hazard. But we didn't. We rolled 2. So we failed to dodge the hazard. And our stamina is going to go down to 2. Next up, we've got a spade, which is a downdraft. This is also potentially bad. Oh, we add on our momentum. So we're going to roll a d6, add on our momentum, which is just 1. 6, we have been lucky. 6 plus 1, you power through, no effect. Oh, we've got another one. Okay, so another downdraft. 3 plus 1 is 4. You lose 1 cargo and 1 momentum. I'm going to say momentum bottoms out at 1, but we've lost our cargo, and now we've completed our route. But unfortunately, we've got to the end and we don't have cargo. So we don't have a successful route. And it says gain 1 momentum for successfully completing the delivery. Now I would say we haven't done that, so our cargo is set to 0 and we're going to go into a second route, having let down the recipient of the cargo in the first route. So, not a good start. Down to 2 stamina. Hopefully a bit of luck. That is not luck, that is clubs. No, spades. Ooh, I do get these muddled up. Which is clubs, which is spades? So spades is the one that it looks like you can dig with it. So this is a spade, and then clubs is the one that looks like that. Dear oh dear. I think I got those mixed up in the first round, but never mind, because they're both bad. So this we're saying is a spade, or is a spade rather. 6. Lucky. We have powered through. Come on, let's have a bit of luck. 7 of diamonds, so that is a wind shift. So we can gain 1 stamina, but lose 2 momentum. Jettison cargo to gain momentum, or use a shortcut. I think, again, I'm going to say that we can do a quick repair, gain 1 stamina but lose 2 momentum, but with a minimum of 1 momentum. That's not the official rule as printed, but that's what I'm going to do on this occasion, I think. So I'm going to say I can regain my stamina because my momentum's on 1 on the minimum. Potentially Cody will say that that's not the official rule, but that's what I'm going to say. Alright, so we have had an updraft, a little bit of luck. So what we're going to do is roll a d6. Oh, we've gained a momentum, so that is good, but we haven't gained cargo, and that is bad, because without cargo, you're kind of a bit lost. Oh, we've got another one. 4. We've gained a cargo. Fantastic news. And we're on the last card. And it is a spade, a downdraft. There's a risk here that we could lose our cargo. But our momentum is 2 now. We're moving at a bit more of a lick. So hopefully 4 plus 2 is 6. We power through. No effect. And we complete the route. When you have at least 1 cargo, you successfully deliver it and record 1 successful route. Had we have had additional cargo, we would have completed additional routes based upon additional cargo, but we don't have that. But we have successfully completed a route. That means we can gain 1 momentum, and we can go into route number 3. Here we go. And we have started off with some immediate luck. So, an updraft. And our updraft has gained us a cargo. Maybe it gave us a little bit of a better view of the surrounding area, and we spotted some cargo that had been dropped by someone else. Clubs. So this is a hazard. We're going to do a hazard test. 2. If the die result is less than or equal to your momentum, you dodge or maneuver the hazard but lose 1 momentum. So our momentum does go down as a result of facing the hazard. And we've got a downdraft, so that means 6 plus our momentum. We power through, no effect. Then we've got another hazard. 6. Ooh, if the die result is greater than your momentum, you fail to avoid it, lose 1 stamina. Alright. And we've got another hazard. Ooh, 1. If it is less than or equal to your momentum, you dodge, but you lose 1 momentum. So we're going back down to 1 momentum. But we have completed the route. So we deliver the cargo. We gain a momentum. And we gain a route. We're going to do 1 more, and then I think that gives you a pretty decent sense of how this game plays. An updraft. 4. Gain a cargo. Been pretty lucky with those updrafts. Then we've got a downdraft. Adding on our momentum of 2 gives us 3. Oh, you lose 1 stamina. So my stamina's gone down to 1. Remember, if your stamina goes to 0, that is the end of the game. Oh, we had an ace, didn't we? That should have been a joker. That should have been a joker. That's annoying. Sorry, I should have done a joker. Do you know what? Well, I think we're going to do a bonus joker just to take a look at one of them if we don't get a joker during this, and even if that results in the character crashing. But this is a wind shift. We get to choose one. Ooh, is it worth getting the momentum up and completing the route without cargo? I think it might be. I'm going to jettison the cargo, gain 2 momentum just to get that momentum really strong. Yeah, that might be a good tactical move. Then we've got a downdraft. So remember, we're adding on our momentum. 4 plus 4 is 8, so we power through that. Then we've got a wind shift. Probably it would make sense to gain a stamina but lose 2 momentum. And I've got no cargo to lose, and we can't do a shortcut. I wonder whether the wind shifts might be optional, because they're all theoretically advantageous. So maybe you should be choosing to do this, but I'm going to gain a stamina. So we'll go back up to 2 stamina, down to 2 momentum, and then as promised we are going to have a sky anomaly, since I accidentally skipped one. And we roll d6, and we get favour of the winds. The storm parts briefly, immediately complete this route successfully. Well, we're completing the route anyway, but I don't have any cargo, so I don't think it counts as a complete route. There you go. And then we would go into another route. So you can see it's got a nice, nippy little gameplay loop. And I like it. You actually do feel a little bit like you are a courier on a hover bike, on a Star Wars style hover bike, nipping around a desert planet and completing delivery routes. It's a cool little game. I really like it. Cody has released it as a pay what you want game on itch.io. I would encourage you to throw $1 his way if you choose to go and grab yourself a copy. I know it's intended to be a small game, but I like it, and I hope Cody chooses to maybe just expand it with one more page. It would be cool to see some different types of cargo, maybe a couple of other sky anomalies, maybe one other table of random events that might happen. Yeah, fun little game. I'm really glad I discovered it. I hope you check it out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.